Welcome, citizens of the internet. Breaking news, Mesa, long-awaited 24.0 and GlibC point release with yesterday's security vulnerabilities more live channel there. I criticized unprofessional release management, release early, release often, especially when you have security vulnerabilities. We are lucky that this was just exactly the day the GlibC people with 6 months or so clockwork release. Time-based releases, yesterday's video, stupid. Release when stuff is ready and when you have security vulnerabilities, maybe point releases. But anyway, we are lucky just today, GlibC, just what we were waiting for. So let's test it, package it, test it, and build an actually amazing Linux distribution necessity for gracious living. So GlibC, let's update that, and Mesa, let's see what breaks, hopefully not so much, and then we build our standard 35 architecture, compiler, C library, and so on, and build variants Linux distribution that we were long waiting for and fixed bugs nearly daily live here on this and Twitch channel. Update GlibC 2.39 or whatever that was, right? Do they even use 0 or, okay, they don't use 0. Of course, for this we need to delete our CVE patches. We also need to check if they deleted Itanium. Happy to hear that people watch it next to work and appreciate that. Damian deleted something before I could read it. Probably that means, except maybe PS3. So GlibC, let's maybe instantly build it already for, did they delete Itanium just yet, or are we 6 months release? One GlibC. All right, we also need to svm rm package GlibC CVE 1 and 2, because you can never have too many security vulnerabilities. Mesa, of all things. So they probably deleted more. That's what we're here for. Thanks for deleting that. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise shipped those machines just until 2 years. We still have SGI, MIPS, and whatnot, Abandonware, Spark and whatnot. But what actual enterprise companies shipped 2 or 3 years ago, deleted for no good reasons, apparently. But that's not a problem. We just go there and revert that, right? And hopefully, if this is hopefully only one commit or so, let's see how that goes. That was one of so apparently we could, before we jump to conclusions, maybe we should double check that. Not that I shout out here. There were news like maybe deleted, or also config IA, best to keep error logs. Max size, we don't need, keep error logs, yes, and what else do we have here? Max parallel, clean all the empty directories and try again. Of course it will fail, just we need the log and update Mesa 24.0, right? Do they probably have an extra 0? Because of course they have, like you would do. Questions there, PS3, yes, I probably should finally yeah, the thing is, I burned so much of my time, previous video, getting even audio, like audio works for next to nobody, even live. Now thanks to your community support, guiding me to have transitioned to Pipewire and Wire Plumber. And literally 24 hours later, it already broke yesterday live on Twitch, right? It's like, poof. I had working audio for 24 hours. Yeah, yeah, okay, it reset it and recovered it. Works right now, but you can't make the stuff up. 2024 and Linux audio still does not just work. Itanium Mesa, what did we get to do there? And then source GlibC, find name IA64, that is apparently gone. Bastards. I said nothing. Totally fine, people on or whatever. So then let's go to their GlibC Git. Of course, you need to Google that, otherwise I did not instantly find it on the website. Let's see, IA removal. Let's hope that is one commit. If it's multiple, then or did our Dr. Schubert already? IA64 Linux Git Hub forked from, is this, this is probably the right one. Did I store that even? Where's the freaking star? Ah, there's a star. All right, okay, do this later. I don't two-factor auth here. Yeah, I believe this is, yeah, Thomas Klosner. Did he already glibc? Apparently not. Just checking not to duplicate work of restoring. So much win-win here, right? So much extra content. Other people would just bring their Itanium to the e-waste, and we sit here and even get this to work. IA64. So they really matched. Oh, this is also focus. Yeah, of course, focus. 3 weeks ago. Here, remove. Is this only one commit or? Okay, commit diff, 3 weeks, remove, restore. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is set. It's disgusting me. It is against everything that open source ever stood for me, of supporting what is obsolete, what vendors deprecated, Think SGI, MIPS, how many other, Hewlett-Packard, PA-RISC, and Itanium. Yeah. Anyway, that is why T2 remains the necessity for gracious and successful living, obviously. So, raw patch, let's see if that just reverts. So we need to grab all of that. How many? Quite some changes. So Mesa also, not built so far. Okay, that could be a thing. Okay, point taken. x86-64 should be. I wiped all the builds yesterday because I was anticipating finally releasing the best Linux distribution for myself. Mesa test build there. Let's glibc. It's like, yeah, we delete 2 accumulated CVE patches, and we need all of curl follow location stuff. Also, that is wrong. So apparently I copy. So the copy and paste bug is still real. Like for years, it like how is this still a thing? Probably super valid reasons and stuff. But so IA64 patch, and the question is, do they, with test suits, it obvious? Oh wait, this is not complete. This is deleting shit, or is it? Oh wait, let's hope this is a modern Git stuff. Is this a whole unified? Is this restoring that, or is this? Please tell me that. So here is implies. Let's hope the deleted files are included. We need to reverse this patch. I always do this with interdiff. I always need to Google the syntax myself because it's such unconvoluted stuff that, of course, you need to, each time you need it. I probably should make a shell alias of reverse patch. But interdiff, I can also go to my old blog. So what this does, because the removal patch removes it, we need the opposite. So interdiff IA64. So we need, instead of removal edit, so interdiff also, it's probably, I do not have that in diff utils patch. It's, by the way, probably some low quality Perl code or so, but got to do what you got to do. And we have people tuning in of our increasingly accumulating subscriber fans, which is obviously totally amazing. IA64, I had to glibc, of course, interdiff. Okay, IA64 h2, move IA to best with not mistyping. So let's see what happens. If we are lucky, it applies. If we are unlucky, it does not apply. The thing is, of course, those who would want to support that, also Mesa build, now have the burden of, so we need a little bit more of an actual, I mean, it will be, we will see if the patch applies soon, because glibc headers is one of the first packages there. Probably like no. And it doesn't apply. Would be too easy if it applies. Might let's see what doesn't apply. Maybe we should. It's like, yeah, I mean, the code was there. It cost them next to no effort to maintain it, and now they multiply the efforts for everyone who still wants to maintain it, right? So let's previous. Where is us? Previous on the top, or where's freaking? Are there first next previous? Okay, whatever. What else do we have here? Local data. Do we have here any other additional? Okay, whatever. I was just thinking if there's some other similar. What have I done here? Maybe the wrong directory of the two. What does not? Here's some Linux FS stat 64. Okay, that is actually. Okay, only one freaking small chunk? Oh no, two. Install. Okay, this install thing we don't need. And F64. I mean, yeah, it saves them so much work maintaining this like two small chunks. It's like, but okay, so the install thing we can simply, it's probably just some help text or whatnot maybe, or just deleting IA64 out of there. So we can just, or should we? There is, yeah, just, this is just needs version new or whatever. It's like, yeah, who knows, it needs install stuff. And news we also don't need to patch. And okay, I mean, as long as this patch is in there, then whatever. Or okay, let's leave everything that applies in there just because. So then this should only leave us with one file. Let's redo that. That should only leave us with one file. Totally workable. Maintaining an abundant architecture like MIPS and PA risk. But, something with unobtainable Itanium triggers. Open source developers. It appears. It's probably too explicit for them. So whatever, I don't know. Read only what? What happened here? How did this become? How did this become read-only? However that worked. That never happened before. Strange stuff. That's the first. Okay, anyway. GlibC, that should leave one rejected. What did they do there? Okay, that's just some freaking comment. So PowerPC, let's check the right power, or was it? But it's back. Ah, maybe this is another place. Which line was it? Line 31? Somehow it is in here. Not really sure what happened there. What, did this already patch something? So you want to tell me that the source code still contains a reference? Did they add the spec or what? That is bizarre. Did they add this spec or that is this steps? This steps, Unix is 5. But by the way, supporting totally up and down very operating system kernels, right? But what was it? Unix is 5, Linux. Are we in this 5? Where are we? Unix, oh no, we are not this 5. Linux. F-stat 64 history. Should be this one, right? They touched it here. They added this back? Are you fucking kidding me? First you fucking tree-wide delete IA64 and then... the wonders of GlibC development, what should I say? Anyway, even easier, GlibC IA64 F-stat64. It's like you can't make this stuff up. This anyway was only a comment, right? So yeah, okay. Fingers crossed. Bets taken. Will this just build? Somehow now that the sun is coming out, I see dust on my... Actually, I think yesterday I wiped the other display. It's not only dust, it's also some... Why do displays always get dirty? Why did we not already delete dust from planet Earth? So, at least the header's installed. So much to can't support IA64 MyS anymore. Yet the gang of 3 here live on YouTube. Yes, it's more than me. Frank and Thomas, right? Always no Nix. I should actually, yeah, Thomas. So it's when people use Nix and stuff. So yeah, can't support IA64 MyS anymore. Live here on this channel, let's give it, yeah, so we need cross-compiler, so in GCC, yeah, probably in GCC next. I said it before, right? We should not have allowed Linus Torvalds, there should have been more protest, we should have insisted, because Linus Word is probably worth nothing. I see it already coming, because Linus Torvalds said, maintain it for a year out of 3 and we can add it back. But of course, the floodgates were opened, the demons entered this universe. Quake, right? Previous video, Twitch. Yeah, the demons are loose. The floodgates of hell are opened, and all the projects delete IA64, maintaining it even harder, even annoyer, even more time-consuming. It costed them next to nothing, and now we need to double, triple, and orders of magnitudes more work of following all the small little tiny SED substitutions of renaming and stuff, just because some Red Hat overlords said so. Thank you very much. Maybe IBM developers hate Itanium so much that they want to delete it everywhere. And with everything deleted, I see very difficult to get it back into the Linux kernel. In 6 months' time, Linus Torvalds will just say, but everyone else deleted it too. It's like, yeah, thank you very much, because thanks, Linus. Thanks, Linus. Anyway, we probably have the microkernel to write for IA64, because, I mean, of course, I can't maintain everything. Of course, I will put some work in there, but I hope the other members of the gang of 3, and if you don't know what I refer to with gang of 3, then right, previous other gangs. Gang of 3, if I hope my co-gang members help maintaining that, because I can't maintain everything, and also that fails. Alright, this fails rightfully. I need to This is not Itanium related, this is just, I wish the GCC people would also have a point release. So yeah, I hope the other members of the Itanium gang, Necessity for High Performance Living, will help me with that. But probably, did I not delete that? What did I do there? I also deleted that wrong. Delete GCC range, I believe. Yeah, this is like, yeah, just like Free Software Foundation, just like GlibC. You don't have point releases. So GCC GNU org of stuff. I probably need to ship a snapshot because so the last release, except despite being 13.2, yeah, despite being 13.2, it is still like multiple, like nearly 40 years of Free Software Foundation later, and multiple, like the second point release of stable series, it's still so broken that you need a latest snapshot to be able to build all the other remaining 35 architectures before they will be deleted. But anyway, so we give this here 5 more minutes live on this channel. People ask, Quake, wasn't it a Doom? Yeah, but we played Quake yesterday. How should I refer? How should I shamelessly self-promote my? Is it even? It wasn't even visible there. Where did I? I put the box already. I put the sorts office to it. I put the box already. Yeah. How should I shamelessly self-promote my Twitch channel? Without mentioning Quake. Twitch TV here, which you probably want to share, like, and subscribe for even more. Yeah, Quake on Itanium when? Hopefully soon. We give it 5 more minutes, then we probably will enter GlibC, cross-compiling Itanium. And so the other stuff is nearly in, so I probably should add this to the to-do, because otherwise I forget. I should actually, and we packaged Quake 3 yesterday. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for even more Linux gaming to come. Yeah, commit GCC snapshot is, it's like, yeah, you can't rely on the Free Software Foundation to do proper release management. Last but not least, I should, yeah, I basically, we probably could continue that a couple of minutes. PS3 commit and test, actually. Because the last time it still had mode setting marginalities, which probably I should actually, it's like, yeah, why am I begging for patronage and YouTube memberships for my tip jar? I could do it 24/7, 365, right? Open source patching. Anyway, GlibC, is there anything else that we should, what is else in the news? Let's quickly, 9.2.5 Linux and other. Yeah, previous video, more main channel, we fixed SetRAM, like basically we broke ourselves, suspend hibernation to disk, fixed that too, looked into the Linux kernel, how they find the first swap device to hibernate to. If you are bored, if you want to learn more, you can always go to the archive and watch some of my 1,000 previous live streams. Yes, in the news, Mesa 24 is out, and of course, did I commit this already? No, I didn't. Yeah, it's a .0 release, but basically we rebuilt everything now. Yes, it's .0 and stuff, but yeah, it's probably will be mostly fine. As we are shipping, we are building this now, we will not wait even longer. We already delayed with even audio have to fix, even 2024, even audio doesn't just work anymore. Which probably, share, like, subscribe, I need to debug. Like, yeah, literally, after first celebration and party that audio worked with Pipewire, we got Pipewire. After the initial party or instantly hangover, the day later, Pipewire instantly breaks the same what I had with Pipe Pulse Audio. My built-in generic HD, AMD, Matisse, Starship or whatnot disappeared live on Twitch. You can't make this shit up. Then after plugging in USB DAC and plugging out HDMI capture dongle will reappear. It's like you can make this like, I don't know what drugs those people on the 20th revision of Linux Sound Daemon stuff and devices to randomly disappear for no good reason. It's state of the art even, not SGIO2, not PS3, no. Latest and greatest AMD Matisse, like, yeah, last generation AMD Matisse, but hey. But it happened on all the other, it happened on all my other x86. Latest and greatest, not unobtainable Itanium. Latest and greatest, RV, LLVM. Yeah. We have here Nautilus File Manager on 925 Linux. File Manager gets more new features and performance improvements ahead of the GNOME 46. Yeah, so we probably, I mean, we have data running. Data, surely, I mean, we could give data one last note while we are at it. Okay, first log into router. Ah, darn it. Router, ether, wake data, then log into data. I should automate that, by the way, so that, like, one way, of course, I could build a web management thing here for our server farm, but maybe I just write IP tables rules, if that is possible, to check for new connections on the router and new connections send an Ethernet wake packet or so. Then any new incoming connection would wake that up, maybe. Did I even data? RZ 32 threads, good. Yeah, yesterday also, so we're building this latest, finally OpenSSL 3. I would have loved, I always loved to update to the latest versions, but PHP was incompatible and maybe even Perl for the longest time. Apparently they finally fixed that also. So updated OpenSSL yesterday. Test builds is already yesterday with x86-64 and even updated Python, which also previously had some issues. So latest and greatest. And we packaged IO Quake 3. So So lots of stuff and good morning. Busy building here already. So where are we here? Okay, that's still building. Let's data. Yeah, somehow this OneDrive I still need to check. So this data, the machine data, I swapped the CPU. It's now only data AI is now only running on a AMD Ryzen 2700. Basically my initial PC Zen build here from 4 years ago. The CPU had laying around as test kit. I swapped the CPUs because it's a mini ITX system anyway, and I rather got a cheap 110 euro whatever B550 or whatever here that I'm live streaming from. Could actually check that. So I rather swapped the 3950 from a thermally throttling mini ITX server node to a open case test node thing here, so that I have 3950X better. So this is the wrong focus. So basically, yeah, or does NeoFetch probably not this. Does this, yeah, 1350X, but this does not. Yeah, B550, that's what I wanted. Yeah, host, where does it even get this from? Anyway, I intentionally brought the cheapest board, and that's basically the cheapest board I could find because I wanted the cheapest possible test rack of old spare memory and CPU, like 1350X. I didn't utilize to its extremes. I intentionally wanted to keep the cheapest board I could find and intentionally another vendor. Because all the BIOSes sucked, so I basically wanted to learn what is the state of SROC, because previously with ASUS not impressed, then people said, but Gigabyte even less impressed, SROC even less impressed. So as shitty all the BIOSes are so far, at least, yes, they all suck, but I found the ASUS be at least the least sucking, except they once burned a memory channel which AMD RM8, and it didn't allow me to flash back, and I had to manually flash that back with flash from Linux. But aside from that, PC quality and stuff. So what's going on with our GlibC? This is still building. And then we could, is it all? So basically we could quickly, okay, we still have the, data is working. I need to, yeah, so this bloody previous video, I think this bloody Seagate disk is really kinda dead. Like, yeah, can't recommend previous video. There's still one in there. I think it's getting slow too. Did I rewrite that completely? I thought, no, I'm not, okay, maybe I did not rewrite this manually. But yeah, it is pointless. Don't get this mini. The crazy thing is, those disks are super old, 4 years or whatnot, 4 terabyte, 2.5 inch. Like basically the only 4 terabyte, they also have 5 terabyte, but I mean the 4 terabyte already is unreliable as shit. Wouldn't get the 5 terabyte then, for even higher data density or whatnot. And so yeah, can't recommend. And so I swapped now for, I migrated to a 3.5 inch, but slim, that I could fit in there because it's very compact. Server node things don't get much, don't have more space for storage. Yeah, I kind of thought I would not use 2.5 inch drives anymore. Somehow, I mean, these high density drives were really fucking fragile. Maybe there's a good reason why there are no other consumer 2.5 inch drives. And yeah, the enterprise drives, of course, expensive. So, anyway, just rambling a little bit. All I wanted to see is what GlibC does for IA64, if it actually builds. Wonder if there's a major flaw with i64. Really don't understand why being such a complete purge. I think people hate it. I also don't understand. There is not a major flaw. It's just, sure, it was expensive, nearly no, it was unobtainable. Even I only got it recently donated. One machine, and I was looking for on eBay, but usually the machines either went too expensive or I missed it or whatnot. Like but the one machine I missed also Thomas got, so that's a win, right? Because sometimes I saw it scrolling by, but I wasn't in Berlin, right? It makes no, yeah, you get the idea of Thomas kit. So of course it was rare, it was nearly unobtainable, it was not the most high performance developed. Probably the problem is, I don't hate it as much as many others, but probably we probably should make a dedicated IA64 video. But long story short, I tried to summarize it in 1 minute, is the explicit parallelism probably didn't help it. So in the year 2000, they thought, we do more explicit parallelism in hardware and let the compiler do more stuff. And this makes the hardware more complex and less flexible. I would say it turned out by popular processor implementations that non-explicit parallelism in hardware is probably easier to scale high performance, because the problem with this explicit parallelism is then that you always need to deal with 3 atoms, or what they call them in these bundles, this 128-bit bundles. And many of them are often then even knobs, no operations, because the compiler couldn't fill it. So this is very inflexible and overhead in terms of just letting the hardware dynamically figure out itself. As crazy as it sounds, that it's from the implementation difficulty less difficult than dynamically scale. With dynamically, I mean with processor generations like Zen 1, Zen 2, ARM, Cortex, A8 and 9 and stuff. So because with the explicit bundles, you're much more fixed to implement these bundles, and then you have 3, which often are knobs, and then if you want to do more, if you wanted to 2 bundles for next generation hardware, you would need to deal with 3 bundles already, which may not even by the compiler as optimized for being 2 bundles of Zen 6 instructions. So scaling that more flexible in hardware, yes, with of course micro-op complexity, with micro-op buffers and so on, with all that complexity, but basically dynamically packing that to whatever the x86 or ARM or RISC-V microarchitecture, either implementation capabilities are, turned out certainly to be way, way more scalable. And certainly didn't help that IA64 then patented and trademarked and heavily patented, and there were no competitors, right? So Intel struggled to implement the high performance, and there were no competitors to compete with that. So yeah, but that are hardware challenges, and for me, the hardware is out there. We can use it. We can have fun with it. Yes, it's not the most efficient, but hey, running SG Octane is also not the most efficient. Still, people can have good fun with it, or could even run it as a storage server or whatnot, or network switch, or in my opinion, there is no point of deleting all of this stuff when we are on the other side adding Nintendo 64 support. Totally pointless. You don't even have much memory or storage. So much pointless stuff added to the Linux kernel that even I don't need. But Itanium they delete, right? It's like that. But anyway, we probably eventually write some hello world example code. Yeah, we will see how far we get. Maybe even code generation JIT, because I somehow like to support all the up and then obscure architectures. Asian writes, never went to university. How to learn the very basics of CPU architecture? I just start with some Wikipedia articles and then decide whether you want to buy some books or other blogs or whatnot. Steven writes, are there still GlibC ports add-ons? I don't believe there are anymore, and no, they didn't put it there, they just deleted it. I'm not even sure it did support previously. Were they in one CVS and only on some other? But anyway, I don't think they have that anymore. That is long. .216 maybe in the last. I know they didn't put it there, but thanks for asking. So basically we're only waiting a minute or two until we successfully build GlibC, or if we have something else to fix, patch or debug. We can already SVN add that. Coming to you, necessity for successful living. T2 freaking Linux with support for everything else abandoned elsewhere. Itanium, SJ Octane, O2, you name it. And package GlibC. The last of the kind. The last gang of 3. All right, so now we are building, because it was a completely fresh build. We had to bootstrap compiler and stuff, right? This is why this built at some 15 minutes. We're on the 7950X. Probably Dater did this patch and restore. I should. The thing is, I didn't commit this yet, right? Okay, I can also probably in the meantime assume I run that here already. That doesn't constantly. That fails. Shit. Crypt UF crypt readme. What? What the heck is that? Did this all build and then didn't have a read to copy? Kidding me? I mean, to be fair, I wonder if that is a... wait, maybe this is our... Maybe this is our generic code and would also fail for other architectures. Yeah. It's not Itanium after all. They can also break other stuff. So, I guess that build to be tested on real hardware. We can continue a little bit on Twitch because we have P3 to. Should we continue? We probably could seed our Twitch live stream. I always need to consider, do a live stream everything? Is it too boring? We have still the P3 patches to commit. We have this to test. The thing is also, I mean, with more cameras, right? I understand it would be way more visible if I sometimes 3 years ago had a second camera angle for stuff, but to see the P3 and stuff. But I also need to reverse engineer. Like for this, I had to run for this Epiphan DVI to USB 3.0. I probably should urgently reverse engineer that, because otherwise I only had to use some 4.18 or so Fedora kernel or whatnot to use this capture dongle. Probably I need to. It's probably an investment I need to do to better grow this channel and become here a famous streamer. Probably the more camera angles and behind the scenes, and probably seeing me tinkering with the actual PS3 would help the views and subscribers. So yeah, we give it here another second. So that is building. So yeah, let's see. I mean, given that it's basically not many, it's also so stupid, right? Like last 3 weeks before release, they wipe it from like no other important breaking changes, and instead of having the last release with IA64, no, 3 weeks before the release, basically last minute, they wipe it, they delete it. Like, how much unappreciation can you be of other people's work? This, by the way, to last but not least, to put it into perspective, not only, I said it previously, this runs contrary to everything in open source, I believe. We started out, Linus Torvalds, I thought, my friends and family, making everything we want to work, and now it was so hard work to revert. Like, you have no idea how hard work it was to reverse engineer VGA chipsets without documentation, to do bit BLT for isolated X 25 years ago. When I booted Linux the first time, all the X stuff was pretty broken, unisolated and stuff. Most people do have no idea on what shoulders of giants we are standing, of establishing all the graphic subsystems, all the sound subsystems, implementing all the stuff, hardware support. And to put this into perspective, of course, Intel and Hewlett-Packard and Red Hat and other companies like SUSE, they had employees working on this, right? Employees which earned $50,000 or even more, $100,000, whatever. Linux developers at SUSE and Red Hat and Intel and Hewlett-Packard. Creating GCC compiler support and GlibC easily costed tens of millions. Imagine, surely dozens of people all over the companies. So they are just like that, deleting open source, like perfectly fine, except 3.5 open bugs like due. There are even more bugs open for x86 and PowerPC of obscure floating point rounding and whatnot. It's like, due, it's not the end of the world. Sure, would be nice to fix it. Also, Thomas has fixed already some. It's like open for 10 years, and then Gang of 3 comes like, hey, fix this, patch this, like, hey, it's working. What's the big problem? Anyway, they easily, just like that, with in a blink of an eye, they delete what easily costed over $10 million. Sure, Red Hat and IBM and Hewlett-Packard paid for that, and SUSE and stuff. But nonetheless, tens of millions worth of open source code for hardware that is more powerful than Nintendo 64, than SG Octane ever was, or Sun Ultra Spark still supporting Linux kernel, without a good reason, right? Sure, it's a little bit different, but it's a little bit different should not mean due it's a burden to maintain. No, a little bit different, like bundles and not a thing and stuff, and so on, should mean it is a test case of making sure the Linux kernel is generic and flexible enough to support such differences, because maybe after RISC-V there will be another explicit parallel, very large instruction architecture, and so on. Like, it's not the end of the world to have a tiniest amount of support code for other architectures in the Linux kernel on GlibC. And as you see, they released it just one revert one unsuccessful YouTuber sits like, it's building, it's building, it's running. I literally have run the Itanium last week. That is how well supported all the stuff is now. I literally have run an SJO2 the week before that. I've run Sun UltraSpark the week before that. And now that after 5 years live on YouTube, T2 is the necessity for successful living and gracious successful living. We can do the nice things, right? We can patch, not only we have patched SGIO2 to be able to start X again. We have, maybe I should actually rebase the Octane patches. We made IA64 work greater than it did the last 10 years. Thomas Glasner already fixed boot problems on whatever Hewlett Packard 2600, whatever 80 or whatnot it was, right? Linux kernel didn't boot for whatever, some Itaniums. Small one-line changes, so boots. It's like... Anyway, that's it for this video. You know where you find us. On the web, on Patreon, on the interwebs, I should say. Let's go over to Twitch. Let's maybe now or later, you know where that is. I need to think, do I do that now? Maybe in 10 minutes. The thing is, I want to get this builds started. I want to release that. I obviously spent half my lifetime maintaining all the stuff that other people just want to delete and hate. So yeah, let's get the build started. The sooner we release, the better. We fixed enough, and what's still broken, we can, like my generic HD audio device sometimes disappearing, we can still fix later. Hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Membership, subscription, Patreon would mean a thing, keeping all this stuff alive. Have a good day or night, and I hope to see you soon for all the amazing things to come. Are we a kernel dev? Yes, we are, of course, among other things. We are an everything devs. We fix and maintain everything as a delete and the kernel. And soon we will continue microkernel because I want higher code quality, and thanks to your patronage and subscription, we are going to write a microkernel. Just because we want more stability and security and stuff. And no, see. Cheers. See you next time.